In the case of escalating tensions between China and Taiwan, the Philippines plays a strategic role. Here is the first thing that you need to know. There are three major choke points in the South China Sea: the Strait of Malacca, the Strait of Taiwan, and this one in the Luzon Strait. Right here is the Bashi Channel. It's about 250 kilometers wide, and it's one of the few deep water routes that connects China's naval bases in Hainan and the South China Sea with the broader Pacific Ocean. This is also a significant choke point for submarine communication cables. These cables provide most of East and Southeast Asia with internet and cell phone coverage. This channel is also a major bottleneck for maritime traffic. It would become a strategic operational space in the event of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. And it's located at the center of the first island chain, an important aspect of China's regional and global ambitions. But for now, the Philippines and Taiwan, the two closest nations to this crucial bottleneck, do not support China's vision. This is how the Philippines could avoid an invasion of Taiwan with hindsight.
On the Taiwan Strait, China's Shandong aircraft carrier launched 80 fighter jet missions and 40 helicopter flights. The drills came with an ominous warning: China's military is ready to fight.
In the event of escalating tensions with Taiwan, the Chinese military would first look to isolate the island. There are three major choke points: the Bashi Channel, the Taiwan Strait, and the Miyako Channel. Let's start with the latter. The Miyako Channel is located centrally in the Okinawa prefecture. Its westernmost point is the island of Yonaguni, which is located only 100 kilometers from Taiwan. These are the Diaoyu Islands, which are claimed by China, but they are administered by Japan. The United States has a major military base near this strait, where 70% of its troops in Japan are stationed.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in Taiwan. That has sparked a lot of controversy and fierce pushback from the Chinese.
When the US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August 2022, China responded by organizing large-scale military drills around Taiwan. During these drills, 6 Chinese missiles fell in the water just off the coast of Yonaguni. This happened within what Japan considers to be its exclusive economic zone. Japan responded in January 2023 by expanding its military base on the island. This included the deployment of surface-to-air missiles. This was part of the biggest military buildup of Japan since World War II. This island is expected to be amongst the first to be targeted in the event of an escalation. The Taiwan Strait will be the most challenging choke point for Taiwan to control. Nearly 90% of Chinese, Japanese, and Korean trade passes through this strait. It connects China's largest port cities to the foreign markets on which they rely. These waters are too shallow for Taiwanese submarines, and they are heavily patrolled by the Chinese. The Luzon Strait and the Bashi Channel would be of military strategic importance in the event of an escalation. They are a potential entry point for maritime and aerial incursions. For China, this could also be their Achilles heel. Regarding their regional ambitions, the inaccessibility of the Bashi Channel will limit their operational mobility from bases in and near the South China Sea. It would reduce their operational space near the south of Taiwan, which could become instrumental in traversing the mountainous inland. Regarding its ambition to become a global maritime power, they will need to control this choke point to secure the first island chain. This would be instrumental in controlling supply chains, managing energy security, and to project power in the broader Pacific. But so far, South Korea and Japan have solidified themselves as allies of the United States. Taiwan and the Bashi Channel are still far out of their control. And the Philippines, which is the closest neighbor of the channel, have a long-standing alliance with the United States. They have several bases in the Philippines, giving them operational mobility in the Luzon Strait, East and Southeast Asia. In 2023, the US and the Philippines announced the locations of 4 new military bases.
So today, the United States announced plans to expand 4 new sites in the Philippines under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Arrangement.
3 are on the main island of Luzon, and 1 is in the south of Palawan. This puts the total number of US bases in the Philippines at 9, and it significantly improves their readiness in the Spratly Islands and in the Luzon Strait.
This is more about supporting combined training, being able to respond to natural disaster or humanitarian disasters in the region, but this is really about regional readiness.
These bases aren't permanent, but they are available for US forces in the event of a contingency. The United States is the most important counterbalance to Chinese expanding sphere of influence in the region, and the Philippines is its most important ally in exercising power in the Luzon Strait. This places the Philippines between 2 Pacific superpowers.
It's a groundbreaking split with one of America's closest allies in the world.
Rodrigo Duterte, shortly after being elected president, announced a split with the US.
In this venue, I announce my separation from the United States.
His warming up to China was toned down during his presidency. His successor, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., then strengthened the alliance with the United States.
Not the United States, not China, not Asia, not any of the member states are interested in going to war. However, what we worry about are mistakes. The safety of our Filipino nationals in Taiwan becomes of primordial importance.
But the Philippines is under constant pressure from China. The Chinese ambassador in Manila said that the Philippines was stoking the fire by offering the US access to the military bases near the Taiwan Strait. And he added a threat against the 150,000 overseas Filipino workers that are currently living in Taiwan. The Philippines is sandwiched between China and the United States, and its willingness to cooperate with either party will significantly influence the strategic advantage of either party in the case of an escalation in Taiwan. If you are ready for a deep dive into the South China Sea dispute, click here on the video on the left.